Right, Alex. So just a quick recap of what we went over today. So first thing is we just added a little bit to the pentatonic. Okay, so we've got our first position here, the one that starts on the first. So remember, pentatonic scale is essentially the natural minor scale with the second and sixth omitted, right? So there is no second position because there's no second note in the pentatonic scale. It goes straight from the first to the minor third. Now, so let's just run up this one. So we're starting at the top note. Well, what was the top note on this string? So we're just going to move up the middle finger there on that C note, the third of the scale. So then we're going up by 2, back a fret, up by 3, same again, up by 2, back up a fret, up by 2, same again. So generally speaking, try to have a finger for each string. Now, we don't need to, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but generally just for efficiency's sake. Okay, so up and down on that, and then what we want to be doing is, instead of going, try this. Same notes, but a little bit more smoothness to it. So for example, instead of that, we can replace that with just a little bit smoother. More on that later, but for now we'll just get the position down. So okay, so another thing we talked about briefly was you're already familiar with the natural minor scale. So again, we'll just stay in A minor here. So just to quickly go over it here. So we've got kind of going back a fret on the G string there. Now, when you're playing this scale, try to, not all the time, but some of the time at least, think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So cycles of 7. That way you always know where you are. So for example, if you're here on a fourth, you know that the fifth is right above you, but if you want to get that bluesy tone, you can kind of bend it up to a flat fifth. There's your eighth there, so let's say you might want the seventh here, or you might want to go harmonic minor. You have to know where the seventh is in order to sharpen it, so there's your harmonic minor. There's the minor 7, we sharpen that. And so on. Okay, so what we'll do here is down by a third, back up by a second. So we're going to go 1, and this is triplets, by the way, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this takes a bit of figuring out after a while, but you'll be surprised how transferable this pattern is to other patterns. You don't have to learn it from scratch every time. Even if I were to take a weird one like the whole tone scale, like I remember the last time I played that, but it's easy enough to show you that one later. So, but if you want to put that pattern on it, easy enough. So here we go. So we'll start off at the top third. 1, 2, 3, and you can kind of fast forward this and go back over it if you like. So we're going to go down and then back up by a second, and we go down by another third. Okay, so then we'll go back up again. So we'll just start a second up, go down and up. So all the way down. So for the we'll talk about the metronome later. So for now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that pattern. Then we spoke a little bit about chord construction. So So you know already that the major and minor chords are first, third, and fifth. The third deciding major and minor, right? So a minor third, small interval. And then we can add sevenths to those, right? So just a couple of the examples we did. So because instead of looking up using chord diagrams for this, it's much better to be able to figure it out yourself. So for example, let's say in a song you've got an A7 chord, just as an example, right? If you look up a chord diagram for that, you'll almost definitely see this one. But what if in the song it's like, and that's also A7, but you know, totally different sound. So if you can figure it out for yourself, then you can find all the 7 chords in all different ways, right? So there's no kind of, it's kind of limitless in that way. But for now, what you need to be able to do is find the 8th of the chord. There's always going to be an 8th in the chord, just the octave, the name note, the note that has the same name as the chord, just not the lowest one. So for here, there's A, so that's the lowest one, that's the first. We'll leave that alone because the foundation of the chord. So there's a 5th, and there's an A note, G, G sharp, A in the A chord, and we put a note in there that's 2 semitones below. That's how you get a 7th chord. So D, there's the D, take that down by 2, D7. There's E, there's an E, take that down. Or let's say you wanted a more colorful version of it, you could take this E note here, put it on this string, take that down by 2, put that in the chord, E7. And I say we're putting a note into the chord that's 2 semitones below, as opposed to taking the 8th down by 2, because that's not necessarily what we're going to do. So for example, C here, there's the C note. We can't take that down by 2 frets, but we can find the note here, take that down by 2, and then we're just going to keep that note, that original 8th there in addition to the 7th. Now, just as another little bit, see if you can find yourself some major 7 chords. So I won't even show you these, right? Because I want you, it's once you find them yourself, they stick much, much better, right? So the only difference between a 7th chord and a major 7th chord is the fact that we're putting a note into the chord that's 1 semitone below the 8th, right? So look, I'll give you one. So there's our 8th. We take it down by 1, not 2, and that is A major 7. Finally then, we were talking about diminished chords. So a basic diminished chord is just first, minor, third, flat, 5th, right? And that's normally going to be in position 2 in a minor key, right? So if we're in A minor, B diminished is going to naturally fit in there. So the way we play that particular version of it is, there's B minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your 5th. We're going to just, instead of dragging this down here, what we'll do is we'll just bring the middle finger up to the D string and then replace that with the 3rd finger here. Now be careful about barring though, because this note here is a 5th in the chord as well. So if you want to include the E string, you're going to have to do a slanty bar, kind of like that. And so there's B diminished. Now another shape I showed you as well was this one, diminished 7. So this is the chord where all the notes are a minor third apart. So here it is. So we'll go, this is just one way of doing it. All right, so we have middle finger, 2nd fret, A string, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, D string, 1st fret, barring across all 3 of them at the 1st fret, then the little finger, 3rd fret on the B string. So there's your, so all of those chords are B diminished 7, just inverted. Okay, so that's enough to be getting on with for now. So get used to that. So expand out your pentatonic shape up to that 3rd position. Play it up and down, play it up and down, and then try to kind of move from that, instead of doing something like you'd normally do. Just expand, you know, move between these 2 positions. As I said, we can fill in the not so bluesy stuff a little bit afterwards. Okay, so let me know how you get on with all of that, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.